Hey guys, it's Melissa Glass at Full Sail Marketing, and today I'm going to walk you through a website that we just completed for a flooring contractor in Nashville called Center State Craftsman. So here at Full Sail, whenever we build websites for contractors, we build them using different sales and persuasion tactics. For instance, here, as soon as you land on the website, you have love the ground you walk on. We're here to craft beautiful floors in your home so that you can love every path you take. So nothing about that is, just about them being a flooring company. It's like nothing about how hey, work with us right now on your floors. It's about the emotion of it, and emotion sells. So very subconsciously, you're getting someone to connect with your business right away. So the picture that we chose for the background is a dog rolling on floors, and who doesn't love puppies? And then we have our call to actions in the top right corner, and then right there underneath the headline and subheadline, so you know exactly what to do from here as soon as you land on the website. So as we continue down, proudly serving Greater Nashville since 2009, builds authority, adds trust right there, so their experience. Let's create floors that you love. It's not the ones that we want, it's the floors that you love. Here at the very bottom, at Center State Craftsman, we create floors you love that tell the stories of your life from the ground up. So it's touching on that idea of, even though you probably don't notice the floors in your house a lot, there are more than just floors. Even though obviously whenever you're standing and walking, you're looking up and you're not always paying attention to what's underneath your feet. So it's by talking about the floors in a way that's a little bit more poetic and adds a story, and talking about your life path and all the steps that you take. Instead, it draws attention to how important the floors are in your home or your business. And then here we're moving on to our services. So you can go right into any one of these and get more information on what to do and how it works for each of the services when working with Center State. Whenever we add the steps on a homepage website, it's more about a feel-good thing, so that they are more comfortable with the idea of what's going to happen whenever they reach out to you. So number 1, start with a consultation. 2, we get to work. 3, the floor is yours. Still going on that play of that word play. So the floor is yours. That's a stage term, but also they're yours. So that has multiple levels of what's going on, and adding it's not only fun, but still connecting with your viewer. We like to add numbers and statistics onto our websites because it's more of a direct line that's representative of your experience and the work that you've done. So for instance, I've built 10 homes since opening 2 years ago, or whatever the case might be. It gives a stronger connection in the viewer's mind about the work that you've done and how much of it that you've done, to show that you're experienced and you know what you're doing. So for this one, floors was a little tricky because this particular client, he talked about how he worked a lot in apartment buildings, refinishing floors and things like that. So it was a little bit harder to just say how many floors that they've done or how many houses they've worked on, or it's very different. If it's a kitchen remodel or something, you say you've done blank kitchens. So floors can be a little bit different because you have, bedroom floors, the whole floor, all the floors in the whole house, the square footage, and if it's an apartment building, so it just kind of gets crazy. So I was able to get a little bit creative with it. So over 75 floors enhanced, so refinishing them or making them better, more than 150,000 square feet transformed, countless potential paths created. So it's something about how that's not something that you can put a number on, is the paths that you take, where you walk, where you go, and still drawing attention to how important it is, not only how much flooring he's done, but the floors that you've been walking on your whole life too. Then we have our gallery page. So the gallery, it's very important to have really good pictures on your website, no matter what business you're in, no matter what industry and contracting industry that you're in, because the pictures show exactly the kind of work that you do. So one way that we we encourage contractors to sell with their website. For instance, what you can do is, if someone calls you on the phone and they say that they're interested in working with you, you can ask them if they've seen your website. And if they haven't, you ask them to sit down in front of it, and you can show them the pictures of the kind of work that you do. So whenever you do that, they can not only see if you're a good fit for them, but you can know if they're a good fit for you. The Center State difference. So this is a fun part that I got to add in because, or or like an important part, because then it's continuing to add on like what makes them different, not just makes them different, but how do they stand out from the next flooring contractor. So in our kickoff call, which we start off every single one of our websites with a kickoff call, so we talk to the contractor about like what makes them different. So they talked about timelessness, experience, and business continuity. Timeliness, you know, if you don't have your floors, it's really hard to get around in your house. So it's very important to him to make sure he gets the client on the schedule within like 2 to 3 weeks, and then actually finishes on time, which was anywhere between like 3 to 4 days. The second part is experience. So experience, we spent countless hours perfecting our technique. So not only do they have a lot of experience, but saying that they have like all these hours put into it that are not only just hours, but hours that they've spent perfecting the technique. So they're gonna come in, they're gonna do a great job on time, and they're not gonna mess anything up. And then business continuity, I threw that in because they also work with business owners, not just homeowners. If a business owner is looking at their page, then they're gonna be able to see that this company, he'll know how to prioritize the needs of a business differently than the needs of a homeowner. On every single one of our websites, we have testimonials because it's what is called social proof. Social proof is really, really important because it instantly builds credibility and authority, because then you're not just like making stuff up about how great you are. These are actual real people that can vouch for you and the work that you do. And this one, it worked out that all these people had pictures that I was also able to use with their testimonials, which continues to add that very personal factor that these are real customers in and around Nashville that have worked with him and can vouch for his work. So then you're going to want to work with him too. You know? So to wrap up the homepage, the way that we always build it is to connect emotionally and then use these very subtle tactics to get the customer to want to work with you. Things like the stories and the numbers and how we like draw them through the website and like the steps. So then you know exactly what's going to happen with the process. And the gallery, of course, we're like putting like a lot of importance right there on the pictures and encouraging them to like look at more pictures and to see what other kind of work that they can do and that they can have whenever they work with you. And so this is the same thing can go and works for every single contractor, using pictures, using authority, using numbers to convince the prospect to want to work with you. And whenever they land on your homepage and your website, where you should be directing them to contact you. So if they're just wanting to look at more services, go to the other services pages, and then also encouraging them to talk to you, you know, like let's get started, all these call to actions about contacting you. So then after the homepage, we have all of our service pages. So the service pages are pretty much all laid out the same, so they get the same kind of experience, but then just with different information on it for whichever one that they're interested in. So each one is going to have like a little bit of a different take. So for the residential installation page on this one though, I kind of switched it up a little and I talked about the different hardwood flooring that fits the style. And I did this because it helps to give the viewer a direction about what they're wanting. So instead of being like, oh, I don't know what they want, like, I don't know what I want. So you come in here and say like, oh, do I want red oak or white oak or pine or maple? And what's the difference between all of these? And like, why should I use each one of these? One, you're directing the customer. And then two, it's also showing that you know what you're talking about. And then we always put the steps down on each page. So the steps, again, kind of still more of a feel-good idea of what's going to happen whenever they work with you. Because we have a whole process page, which breaks it down a little bit more. So on each page, it's the same basic kind of steps. Let's choose your floor. So then you're going to work together and pick that out. Panels come down, work is done, love your new floors, and you're going to love the work that they do. And then we put a testimonial on every page to continue adding that social proof on every single page. No matter how they find your website, they're going to see that someone can vouch for you. For the residential refinishing, it starts right off with you can have a brand new floor in less than 4 days. So refinishing is going to be different from installation. It's not going to be quite as expensive, and it's kind of like you can just touch up your floors and make them feel like new again. Protect your floors for years to come and preserve your floors for another 10 years. So these are the two main things about why you would be refinishing your floors. So instead of saying like, oh, do you want to refinish your floors? It's already talking about the different reasons why a customer would want to or would be needing to. It cuts right to the chase. You're going to update them, protect them, and then it'll update your home, and then it'll reflect your style and protect them for another 10 years or whatever to come. So for commercial refinishing, how we did it on this page, for business owners, it's all about aesthetics. and business time, business continuity. So making sure that we touched on both of these so that, like, what do you want your customers to think of you? Because even if you're not inherently or consciously picking up the kind of floor that you're walking on whenever you walk into a business, all of it plays into the picture. So if you're an upscale business, you can't have gross, ugly, outdated floors. You need to have brand new, beautiful floors to compete with other upscale Nashville businesses, And then same thing then moving on to business continuity. One of his biggest clients was apartment buildings. So it's a picture of an apartment complex, but understanding that business time is crucial and important, and they know that, and they're not going to let that slip by them. So touching on these two pain points of aesthetics and time for a business. A lot of other contractors, it's the same thing. If you work with other businesses, aesthetics, you want your business to look good and to stand out. Continuity. Time is of the essence. So it's these same kind of things that for how we did it on this website can be done, and we do for other contractors. And then to wrap up, every single website then that we do multiple pages for have our big four. So the big four are about us, gallery, process, and contact. Each of these 4 pages are to just continue to direct traffic and build on who you are, and to build trust and authority and connect, and to make them more comfortable when working with you. So about us page, just your story. Gallery, more pictures, and make sure they're all some of the best pictures and everything. So then again, like I was talking about earlier in this video, about whenever you're talking to a customer over the phone, you can send them to the gallery page, and they can know right away what kind of work that you do. And then your process page, we break it down into exactly what is going to happen. And you always want to touch on, it's like being honest and transparent about exactly what they need to know. So to wrap up this website, this is how we took the different sales and persuasion tactics that we use on our website, and how I used it for this client, a flooring contractor in Nashville. And I had a lot of fun building this website because I got to take something that a lot of people don't really think about, the floors underneath your feet, and really help a viewer connect with them and talk about it a little bit more poetically. So if you want a dope website like this one, hit me up. Again, I'm Melissa at Full Sail Marketing. Comment below, reach out, hit us up, let us know what you think. Thanks guys, see you next time.